Less than 2% of that went to actual black soldiers, right?
And as we go through this history, the GI Bill.
Yeah, the GI Bill was just a phenomenal idea, quite frankly, right? You had the Second World War. You had 16 million American soldiers returning from fighting Europe and in the East, and they were coming back. And they wanted to invest in college education for them, job training for them, as well as subsidizing housing. Just a wonderful thing for an extraordinary sacrifice. Of that 16 million amount of soldiers, about 1 million of those were black soldiers, right? And of the resources that were put into the GI Bill, it's about $95 billion at the time. It's close to $1 trillion if you put it kind of in today's dollars. Less than 2% of that went to actual black soldiers, right? So, and while you have universities in the North and the South expanding so that they can create enough seats for these incoming soldiers, you black soldiers cannot participate.
Right, because segregation laws,
because
right?
of segregation.
Right.
And then the HBCUs who are there are chronically underfunded with not enough infrastructure to handle the demand, right, for the resources. So you're talking about up to $45 billion that was actually, in today's equivalent, that was never distributed to black soldiers.
You know, and when I hear this, I feel that this is data for reparations, you know, because this here makes me, it's very clear what has been extracted from the African American community. By that I mean we have people from all kinds of backgrounds that are black come here, and what I hear at times is, why aren't black Americans doing better? And it really infuriates me. Do you know what we've gone through to get to where we are right now?
Black people were literally murdered for pursuing the actual American dream, right? In public and announced.
Lynched.
Yeah, over 4,000, right? According to the records, I'm sure it's much, much more than that. So people often don't have that context. And when you're under that level of trauma, you will adjust, right? When you see people start businesses and they're dragged out and murdered in broad daylight, that sends a powerful sign, and no one comes in. They tried to pass anti-lynching laws 200 times.
Yep.
And didn't do it
passed.
till like a couple months ago. So there was no authority to turn to that was going to save you. So people would adjust and try to survive. I think that's an important thing that everyone needs to know and understand, right? It's that it had an economic impact and that it matters. It's temporal,